So we have a question from Riley here. Any tips for onboarding new clients to ensure they have a great first experience with your brand, not including over-delivering? Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I think over-delivering a little bit is probably a good idea, but not over-delivering too much. Not so much that it hurts you or it hurts the business. So onboarding new customers is just a matter of having a great process for that. Now, we use Google Sites to document all of the processes in our business, and onboarding a customer should just be a process and a system that is created inside of Google Sites. Now, I actually have a video on our channel on the system for creating systems. And so that is a system for how to write really great business systems. So head to our channel, search for systems, and you should find that video if you want to check that out. But you'll see here inside our GeniusNet, we call it, which is our intranet, you can see that we've got Engage, Deliver. They are our two client delivery teams. And so the Engage team are those that are working with the customers on an account management basis, and the Deliver team are the ones who are delivering projects. Oh, and we also have the support team as well. So we have the support team as well here. And so all of those systems that we work with inside a business is actually delivering to our customers, and they are all documented in here. And so we've got, this is a ticket management one. We have a scoping guide that's been delivered. I'm guessing that's an embedded product. Yep, there we go. We've got an embedded spreadsheet here. So all of our scoping has been added into there. And this is basically the place where we document absolutely everything. Now, the most important thing if you're considering how to onboard customers is to design this as a process with the thought in the back of your mind, how can I create the most perfect customer journey for my customer? How can I make sure that along every step of the way, the customer is having a delightful experience? Now, there's something about customer psychology that is really important to think about here, and that is that when you have a customer who has just handed over their money, they've just signed the contract, and they've just got started with you, that's the most important time for them to have a great experience. Because when we buy something, what happens in the background psychologically? Well, there's the potential for buyer's remorse. We've just trusted someone. And so in that moment, we want to make sure that we're actually, we haven't made a bad decision, because we're going to feel bad if we've made a bad decision, and that's not going to help us. And so I like to use the cafe analogy for this when you're onboarding a new customer or when you're thinking about customer experience. Now, when you go to a cafe and you've been going there for a long time, and over 5 months, maybe you've bought 5 sandwiches, right? If the cafe makes a crappy sandwich, I've got to be really careful with my swearing here, guys. In Australia, we call it an S sandwich. If the cafe makes a crappy sandwich, then what happens is you've got 5 good sandwiches and you've got 1 crappy sandwich, right? And so the amount of data that you have, you say, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's not too bad. I've always had good sandwiches here. Maybe a little bit off at the moment, right? So if you have not a great experience right off the bat, let's say you go to a new cafe, you try a sandwich, first sandwich you have is a crap sandwich, you're probably not going to go back there. So that's the moment where it's most important for the customer to have a great experience. And so over time, you want to make sure that the experience is really great, but the initial part of that experience is very, very, very important. So what you want to do is, especially with your onboarding process, is to make sure, okay, what is the best way that this customer can be perhaps handed over from the sales process inside your business to the delivery process inside your business? Is there opportunity for the customer to give feedback? Is there opportunity to measure how well you're doing with the customer? Do your team have performance incentives to make sure that the customer has a good experience? For example, when we do a migration to Google Workspace, if a customer is currently running Office 365 or they're switching from another platform into the Google ecosystem, we created a KPI, which is sale to sign off. And that's the number of days between the day that the sale happened and we get a positive sign off from the customer. And what that KPI means is that the team are actually incentivized to make sure that we deliver quickly to the customers. Now, they also need to deliver quality as well. So that is also measured. They have those 2 KPIs that work in tandem. We don't want to deliver so quickly that the customer has a poor experience, but you do want to make sure that you have your team incentivized actually moving through that process. That's where you want to work on with onboarding. You want to make sure that the customer is having a great journey along the way, and importantly, having a great first experience. One of the beauties of documenting systems is You get to actually, inject your own founder culture into the way that things are done inside the business. Now, there's probably going to be a little bit of a difference between how you do things as a founder in a business and how your team just naturally do things, right? They may have had a different upbringing. They're not the owner of the business, so they don't have their name on the door. They don't have the same, experience in the way that they deliver versus the way that you deliver. And, I remember when I started my business, my dad taught me, how do you answer the phone? How do you look after a customer who's maybe upset with you? How do you bring a customer on and have them feel like they're important to you as a customer and important to the business? And those things don't necessarily come naturally to team members that I then hired inside the business. And so what I did was I documented systems on, okay, how can we delight our customers? How can we deliver what we call internally service plus one? How can we have customers who have a great experience and actually document that into the systems? And so the way that I want things to be done, for the most part, can be actually carried out by the team. If you like this content, please hit subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live or drop new content on the channel. Now, if you'd like to connect with us, hit us up on social media or join our free community group. All the links to that are right below this video. If you'd like to learn more about Google Workspace and the technology ecosystem, you can join our free Genius Academy by transferring your billing across to IT Genius. Or you can join a Workspace Basics Bootcamp. Now, if you're a business owner and you're interested in an audit on your technology stack or your Workspace account, or you're looking to do a project in the tech world, well, you can take advantage of our free consultation. And if you need help right now, then consider joining Concierge or taking up a quick fix with our team for professional support for your tech stack.